I have to admit something to you, dear listener. We try and give you the best information. We really do. We try and give you the best information. This one we held back. This
Little
this
bit.
one we bet and didn't do anything with immediately. And that it's not available in our app because we don't have it loaded in there yet. We talked about this last year. Brandon did an article on it. We're gonna do an article on it this year. Joe, for some damn reason, these odds makers are like, you can bet on whether or not Steph Curry will lead the league in threes made per game. Would you like to? And they're giving us a number that is somehow below minus 10,000. I don't
It's
understand
crazy. It's absolutely insane. Like they literally had the exact same line last season,
last year.
minus 175. I don't understand this. He cruises over this. I think he's hit it in what, like 7 of the last 8 years or something like that. Like he crushes it. And I like this prop too because it's per game. So it's not necessarily how many or like what's the total number, like in case he ever got hurt or something like that. The prop generally says as long as he plays 41 games, it's points per game or 3 pointers per game. So at minus 175, it's just an absolutely insane number. Curry just cruises over this line. And it just feels like free money. Like as long as you're willing to lay the juice, but it's a good investment
Yeah.
realistically. So like you just know you're going to get this back later.
This is, let me put it this way. This is one that Brandon enthusiastically bets at a minus number. There's like 10 bets in the entire time I've known him that Brandon's been willing to lay more than minus
Never,
130 on. Like it's
never.
ridiculous. So to put this into context, okay, so last season, Steph Curry actually did not shoot as well as he has in previous seasons. He only shot 38% from three. It was a down season from Steph Curry. Yeah, so he finished with the most threes per game, but not only did he finish with the most threes per game, he finished with the most threes per game by 0.8 threes per game. And you're like, what
A
does that mean?
lot.
At 0.8. That's just like a number. So let me put it in context for you. The gap between Steph Curry and number two Fred VanVleet in three-pointers made per game is the same as the gap between Fred VanVleet in second and 20th. That's the gap we're talking about here. Your bet of this at any number that you're getting below, and I don't know, Joe, is there a number that we don't think it's good value at?
Like not really, honestly. Like I mean, maybe like minus 500 just because like
Yeah,
you don't want to lay it that for that long and like the amount that you have to put out. But like it's not like we're betting on credit. We're betting on with like cash for this. So it's like you have to be able like, do I have the money and is it like
right,
reasonable for me to lay this for that long? That's
right.
really what the question is.
So yeah, I would probably put 500 as the limit at where you get there because honestly, what this is a question of will Steph Curry play enough games?
Yeah.
It's will Steph Curry play enough games? Like will Steph Curry get hurt? The threats to beat him, there's only really two names. Okay, I'll throw Fred VanVleet in there because he was second last season at 3.7.
Yeah.
The real threats to me are Buddy Hield, who had a weird season last year because he got traded and all this kind of stuff happening. But Buddy is an absolute volume shooter. He gets him up. If for any reason Buddy Hield winds up on the Lakers, he will shoot a ton of threes and be in contention for this. Fred VanVleet, and then I think Donovan Mitchell has to be mentioned as well. He was fourth in the league last season.
Yeah.
He's going to shoot a ton on this Cavs team that we've talked about how they don't have 3-point shooting. Those are the only guys I could see that are really risks. I don't necessarily want to bet any of it. I might bet like a small hedge on Hield just because Buddy's been such a volume
He's
shooter.
10 to 1.
Yeah, he's 10
So
to 1,
it's,
right?
you know,
But like Steph, the level of dominance is just absurd. Like it is ridiculous how
yeah.
much he wins this by. Like this is
Yeah.
not a close one. Um,
No.
like 2021, he was 1.2 better than the second best player in the league. 1.2. He made over a three more.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the fact that the next closest guy is 6 to 1 and he's minus 175 tells you like everything you need to know about how they're really marketing this thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, Curry is just that's what he does. He shoots threes, and in theory, maybe he has to do a little bit less carrying of the offense this season with like a healthy Clay in theory for the whole year. But they've lost a lot of guys, so and he loves shooting threes. Like that's what he does. So I don't think he's going to really take a step back from shooting threes this year.
Every season except 2020 when he was hurt and missed the season, He has led the league in 3-pointers made since 2015.